Hello, welcome back to Ever17, the Out of Infinity. Where's Tsugumi? Sora was waiting just outside the door with a worried expression on her face. She's alive. But she wishes she were dead. Yep, it's true. It's unfortunate, but she didn't get what she wanted, death. Sora's voice quivered as she spoke. You know, I should have never even helped save... I'm sorry, now you're upset, Sora. I'm not myself right now. I'm heading back to bed, even though I know I can't sleep. I raised my hand weakly and parted with Sora. Sora stood by the entrance to the medical room, frozen, without movement. It is really hard to wake up after you've gone back to sleep. And when I can skip, I will skip. Okay. The fact that she was eating meant that at least her body was determined to live. If she would just continue this tendency and get well, I thought there'd be no more problems. Wait, that was a contradiction. The appetites necessary to sustain life are evil. But then, after all, she demolished 3 whole sandwiches without even flinching. Well, then again, I was the one who told Coco to take the sandwiches down, because it'll be bad if she doesn't eat something. So I was contradicting my earlier stance too, but something strange was going on. What's the deal? The word hypocrite came to mind. Who is the hypocrite now, Tsugumi? Tsugumi, what were you thinking? I couldn't help but feel resentment rising in my chest. It's nothing. I didn't want to show my sullen mood. I didn't even want to be thinking about her anymore. Waving with one hand, I tried my best to sweep my mood away. Why? Did you put something in there that would make me sick? No, stop! Don't tell me, I don't want to know. Just imagining the possibilities was making my stomach hurt. Gathering my wits, I went to the bench where you and the kid were sitting. Coco and Pee-Pee trotted along behind me. Okay. There. Now this is the choice for seeing Tsugumi, Sora, bathroom. So Tsugumi will go for Tsugumi, Sora will go for Sora, and bathroom doesn't matter. I went to see Tsugumi. I told the truth. I was going to take a walk when Sora came up and told me that Tsugumi had woken up. I didn't want her to start wandering around and hurt herself, so I rushed right over to the infirmary. What, so you knew all along? Man. You're right, I wasn't thinking. Well, I don't know about you, kid, but you was dead to the world. I didn't figure it'd be any good to try to wake you guys up. No one seemed inclined to question me further, so that solved that. Everyone milled around the rest area. I felt the energy drain out of me. I wasn't tense, but I wasn't relaxed either. Maybe I was just tired. I sat quietly, thinking. When I couldn't sleep, I had been pondering all sorts of things about Tsugumi and Sora. I may have hurt Sora's feelings. She always smiled and said she didn't mind, but what would I say when I saw her? Hearing Yu's voice, I returned to Earth with a jolt. Jeez. This is very dark now. I'm just gonna watch silently. Huh. I thought it was a pretty scholarly talk. But I kept quiet and watched the faces of everyone. With her finger still extended in front of her face, Yu spoke confidently. It's a good story, I like it. Yeah. That's great. Wonder how she's doing. Well, worrying about her won't make her better any faster. Yeah. Say, Coco? What language is about to ruin? Oh, great. Coco is always in upbeat mode. Can't just let her be. What if her injury gets worse? And besides, I want to hear a good explanation for why she ran off like this. Well, I left him there and ran out. The buoyancy elevator was right nearby. I pushed the down button and called the elevator. The lamp lit up, letting me know that it was working normally. I sprang in when the double doors opened. The doors shut quickly and it started going down. If she doesn't use the eye, she can't get up here. Until I get there, she definitely can't leave the sector. Alright. Watch out, Tsugumi, because here I come. I cracked my knuckles. Tsugumi had pushed herself, despite her injury, and gone off all alone. Did she really mean to kill herself? Was she actually trying? Then maybe I should just let her. But still, I wanted to give her a piece of my mind first. I hoped she would just stay alive long enough for me to tell her all I wanted to say. The doors opened. The stale air of the isolated sector on the third floor flowed into my lungs. Next to the elevator I had ridden in, another elevator was still stopped. An elevator with a hole blasted in it. You couldn't even smell the stench of acetone anymore. I walked toward the end of the hallway, marshaling my wits. What's that? I realized that there was a room on the left side of the corridor that I hadn't seen during the power outage. Thinking to explore a little, I set my foot inside. She is. It wouldn't do to lose my temper right off the bat. I suppose to express the urge to shout, she was injured after all. Sure. I shot back, trying to make a crack in the wall that she had up. I came here on my own. I left the others. Because I heard that you came here on your own. Because my hurt friend suddenly went missing, that's why. Of course I came looking for you. Her expression grew more and more severe. Tsugumi, cut it out! I snapped. I clenched my fist. And then I shoved it in her face. But it stopped it just in front of her nose. She didn't even flinch. Believe me, I don't want to be friends with someone like you. But we don't have a choice. We all want to get out of here. Tsugumi's voice stayed completely cool. There was no place for my raised fist to go. I lowered my hands. I couldn't say anything. Giving me a glance, she moved toward the door, tracking her foot. She was moving awkwardly, still dragging her left foot. Several hours went by. In the end, I hung around living by myself and just killed some time. I didn't see Tsugumi during that time. I decided to have an early dinner. You, Coco, and the kid had finished their meal and moved to the rest area where they were relaxing and letting their food digest. Okay, then. I'd almost finished tidying up the kiosk. I pulled out the object I had secretly hidden behind the warmer. Actually, there had been one sausage left at the back of the refrigerator. There were no hot dog buns, so I stuffed the sausage into a bread roll. I sopped on the ketchup and mustard and took a big bite. This is so good. My mouth filled with the juicy flavor as I bit down. Meat. Yum. Fried chicken sandwiches were good, but not every meal every single day. Yeah, like a lot of things. I hid in the back of the kiosk and devoured the sausage. Surprised by Coco's voice, I choked on a piece of sausage. Coco appeared in front of me. Blinking and struggling, I finally managed to swallow the chunk of meat. I swallowed the rest of the sausage in one bite to remove the evidence. I struggled to control my breathing. Coco. Not a word about what you just saw, okay? Yeah, that's it. No, I'm fine. I ate. I scratched my head. Sorry, Coco. I was selfishly eating a sausage all by myself. Please forgive me. Inside, I apologized silently to her. Oh, really? Surprised, I blinked. She spoke to Tsugumi?
つぐみ救護室に戻ってきたんだって。
Really?
それでなんかね、つぐみ救護室でソラさんに会ったら、ちょっとやりすぎちゃった、機械とか壊しちゃってごめんねって言って部屋を片付けたりしたんだって。
Apologize, Tsugumi?
ココはそう聞いたよ。
I was surprised. No, I was really surprised. What else? Did you hear anything else?
他にソラさん、つぐみに質問されたんだって。
Asking questions?
ちょっと変わった質問。
A strange question. What did she ask?
どんなのだったかな。そうそう。私の過去について何か知っているかってな感じなことをつぐみんがソラさんに聞いて、
And?
ソラさんは知らないって答えたんだって。つぐみんはそれで納得したみたい。
Is that it?
それだけ。
Oh.
確かにちょこっと変な質問かもね。
Yes, it was very weird. Coco, where's Tsugumi now? I said, just trying to restrain my sense of urgency.
救護室にいると思うよ。ベッドに寝てるんだって。ソラさんがそう言ってた。
Bed? She went back to the infirmary and went to bed.
そのはずだよ。
So, they asked about the past. Are you sure? Is that where she is now?
多分。
Probably, huh? Okay, who asked who? Was it Sora asked Tsugumi or Tsugumi asked Sora? What is she at? Yeah, okay, it was just Tsugumi. Got it. Alright, then I think I'll go and check on her. Sora's passed. What is it? What, Coco? Is there something on my face? For some reason, Coco was staring at my face. She laughed quietly.
タケピョンってつぐみんのこと好きなんだね。
Huh? You gotta be kidding me. There's no way.
そうかな。ここにはタケピョンの顔にそう書いてあるみたいに見えたんだけどな。
Huh? Flustered, I rubbed at my face. Nothing came off on my hands. At least nobody had been writing on my face again. Coco watching me had a smile as bright as the sun. I left Coco and went to the second floor infirmary. I hope she's resting properly. Hey, Tsugumi, can I come in? I spoke into the intercom and opened the door. Infirmary was quiet again. This is not a new scene. Okay. Okay. Maybe. Now that I thought about it, I remembered having seen a rat run around the infirmary, so Tsugumi keeping a rat in here, the evidence would seem to point to that. In that case, has she gone looking for her pet? But where exactly? Maybe I should ask Sora. I called Sora from the infirmary terminal, but she didn't appear. Huh? Is this broken? I looked at the map of Wemu on the monitor, but could detect no signs of life. Where in the vicinity would let me would be a large terminal function. Of course, the security office. If I went there, I would probably learn something. I left the infirmary and turned left down a corridor. When I arrived at the security office, I opened the door and flew inside. There was somebody already there. Tsugumi was sitting in a chair in front of the console. There. Hey. Now I'm finding him again. Oh, how can you say that? That's not a nice thing to say. I laughed at her as I loosened my limbs and body. I'll be fine. You go back to the security office.
Eh?
When I get through to the other side, you can tell me where the hamster is. We won't be able to locate him without Lemmy, will we? So unless someone who can operate Lemmy stays behind, it won't work. Okay then, it's settled. I finished warming up and adjusted the voice converter in my ear. Sora told me that the earphone was pressure resistant, but hadn't said anything about whether it was waterproof. See you later. I ruffled Tsugumi's hair and started down the ladder. Okay, I guess this is how I do it if I've already read Sora's. My toes reached the bottom of the ladder. I let go of the ladder and leapt into the emergency corridor. Wow, it's cold. It was like swimming in ice water. The water here was much colder than the water higher up. I had greatly miscalculated. And that wasn't the only thing I'd miscalculated. Inside the corridor was pitch dark. I tried to use my PDA backlight. I could see that there were parallel walls on either side and this part of the corridor was straight, but that was all I could see. I knew nothing of what was beyond that. At that point, my PDA batteries ran out. Oh crap, I've been using this for a while. There was nothing for it but to grope my way forward. How far had I swum? How much further did I need to go? I had no way of guessing. I didn't even know if I was swimming in the right direction. I just kept swimming in the darkness. It was terrifying. As my breath got tighter, I could feel this fear spreading through my body. I might just die here. As afraid as I was able to consider dying quite calmly. I was caught in the illusion that I was sinking farther and farther down. The darkness penetrated to my very core. The shadow of death crept through my whole body, eroding my every cell. I can't last much longer. Just as my fear reached its peak, I glimpsed a spot of light. The exit. Was it 30 feet or 60 maybe? My vision was cloudy and I couldn't judge the distance. I was reaching my limit. No, I had probably already exceeded it. The light was shining beyond the darkness. My body was screaming as my cramping fingers stretched out to the light. A little further, just a little further. The light is right there. My hand grabbed the ladder. I wasted no time in fixing the rope on the hook. I pulled myself upwards. I scaled the ladder as quickly as I could and burst out into the corridor. I breathed deeply in and out. I coughed and spat. I felt like I was going to cough the darkness right out of my lungs. But contrary to my expectations, what erupted from my mouth was the semi-liquid remains of my hot dog. Yeah. It was a little cold, but I shook my head to clear it and continued my search for the hamster. The floor doors on either side of the corridor were shut tight. There was only one other door. I went through. So we did still find the hamster with Sora. I guess we do a little more finding it with Tsugumi. Hey, Mr. Hamster. That probably wasn't its name, but never mind. It was better than yelling, Mr. Jungarian. Yeah. I heard Tsugumi's voice come out through a speaker somewhere in the room. Okay, Tsugumi, I can hear you. The room is pitch dark. I can't see a thing. Either the lights are broken or there's not enough power. My trusty PDA is out of power. I should have brought some fireflies with me. Nothing. If you pick up the hamster's location, let me know.
ええ。そのまままっすぐ進んで。3メートル。
1, 2, 3. Okay.
そこで右に40度ターンして。
40 degrees? What kind of angle is that?
ちょっと。それ右じゃなくて左回りじゃないの？
Are you sure? The other way?
本当に大丈夫なの？
It was just the wrong direction. I'm fine. Look, I'm facing the right direction now.
前進。次は4メートル30。足元に段差があるわ。気をつけて。
What? How can I be careful in the dark? Ugh.
どうしたのよ？たけし。たけし、しっかりして。ちょっと返事してよ。ねえ。たけし。
It's alright. I'm alive. Can you let me know how high the steps are going to be? I didn't realize I'd be smashing my knee against it. Okay, go on. Is Mr. Hamster still here? He hasn't run away?
ちゃんといるわ。
Okay, navigate me.
了解。
On I went like that. Alright, I've got you. I successfully trapped the hamster in the plastic bag. I'm on my way back. Wait for me in the pipe room.
ええ、わかったわ。
I went out into the light of the corridor and checked the hamster. Okay, he was quiet but seemed healthy. I blew more air into the bag and tied the mouth of it shut tight. Tired as I was, could I get back the way I had come? I hesitated, but unless I went back, it was all pointless. If I followed the rope, I should be able to get back faster than I had come. I tied the bag to my waist, took a deep breath, and jumped into the water. I climbed up the pipe ladder and stuck my head out of the hatch. I had made it back safely to the area I had started from. Honey, I'm home. Tsugumi was waiting beside the hatch. Look what the cat dragged me. Well, here I am, I'm back. Well, great.
おかえり。
You saved the hamster. Yay. I closed the hatch and stood up. I opened the plastic bag in my waist and took out the hamster. Tsugumi grabbed the hamster. Lovingly, she stroked his damp fur.
ありがとう。
Yeah, Tsugumi whispered her gratitude without looking at me. What's his real name? I looked at the hamster.
笑わないでね。
Okay, I won't.
絶対によ。
I promise.
この子の名前はチャミー。
Yeah,
チ
it's
ャーミン
cute.
グだから。チャミー。
Jimmy. Aw, that's cute. What a good name. How cute. That was what I thought. I did my best to stifle my laughter. Dude, come on.
すぐ笑わないって言ったのに。
You're so cute, I'm not laughing. I tried to keep a straight face, but the corners of my mouth started to twitch. Chammy. Charming Chammy. Well, Chammy Poo, it's Din Din time. I could just imagine Tsugumi baby talking to it. Chammy Poo. Oh. That's cute though.
だから言いたくなかったのに。
So Tsugumi was red-faced. When she yelled out the bath towel she had behind her back. Oh, thanks. I took the towel and wiped myself down. I breathed deeply, feeling reborn as I glanced at Tsugumi's face. She was playing with the hamster in her hand, and her cheeks were bright. She looked so happy. It was the first time I'd ever seen her smile. Yay! Oh, I love that. So precious. So precious. Pushing the button again. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
ラゲのゴンドラのアトラクション。このエレベーター。
Yep. Again.
あなたに話したいことがあったの。
Hey, about what?
ええ、話しておきたいこと。言っておきたいの。伝えておきたいの。今ここでなら決して誰の邪魔も入ることがない。
It must really be something important, something serious.
ええ、私にとっては。
Having her approach me to talk was unusual. Tsugumi fixed her eyes firmly on mine. Her eyes were serious, with no sign of mischief in them. Whatever the consequences, I had to listen.
12年前、2005年8月、ある夏の日、私は感染した。とあるウイルスに感染した。そう、2005年、12年前。 私がまだ12歳だった時のこと。
A virus? And are you still infected?
そうよ。私はキャリアの。
A carrier? What? Wait a second. Come on, wait just a second here. Just a second here. You mean to tell me 12 years ago at age 12? 12 years ago at age 12 means your age now is...
23歳。あと2月で24になる。私は24年前、1993年7月に生まれたの。
I scrutinized Tsugumi's face. There was no way she looked 23. But then again, I knew she was 9. We had never touched upon the subject of her age, but I assumed her to be a high school student at the most. 23 years old. I muttered to myself. To think she was 3 years older than me.
ねえ。あなたはどこにいるの？
She suddenly changed the topic. What do you mean where? I'm right here.
ここってどこ？
And is that new? Let's get that. Okay. Tsugumi took her hand off my neck. I breathed easier.
あなたという存在に実体はない。あなたはただの概念だから。
A concept?
情報。ソフトウェアと言ってもいいかもしれない。CD に焼かれた情報に実体はある。CD はただのプラスチック。ポリカーボネートという物質の塊。それは情報とは何の関連もない。情報の実体なんかであるはずもない。情報に形はないの。ただ専用のアプリケーションを用いることによってのみ情報は具現化される。しかし具現化されたその情報の形さえ本質ではない。本質は情報それ自体を指すのだから。たけしも同じ。たけしという本質に実体はない。なぜなら倉成たけしという人間の本質はただの概念、情報、ソフトウェアにする。それは
Okay.
肉体というハードによってのみ再現される。そう、肉体はハードウェア。たけしという
Interesting way to think about this.
ただの道具。
I see. Okay, I understand you perfectly. No, actually, I hardly understand you at all, but if what you say is true, then what? What does that have to do with what you were talking about?
今から12年前、私はあるウイルスに感染した。
Yeah, you said that.
そのウイルスのおかげで、ウイルスのせいで、私の遺伝子のコードは書き換えられてしまった。
What? Your genetic code?
細胞は日々生まれ変わっている。生まれ変わり、そして死んでいく。通常、人間の体細胞は 5年後には全て入れ替わる。12歳の時ウイルスに感染した私の細胞はその瞬間からゆっくりと細胞分裂を繰り返し、5年後細胞は全て入れ替わった。つまり私の肉体を構成する全ての細胞の遺伝情報が5年の歳月を経て全部書き換えられたということ。最後の一つとなった細胞が死んだ時、12歳の時の私は跡形もなく消え去ってしまった。そして古い私は死んだ。古い私は死に、新しい私は死なない体になっていた。
A body that never dies?
私の免疫機能、並びに代謝効率が著しく能力向上し、テロメアは回復し続けるように。
So that's what they're doing with her.
私は決して老いず死ななくなった。私の成長はその時に止まったままなの。17歳のまま決して老いることはないの。
Wait, okay. How to improve immune system and increase metabolic efficiency. Telomeres that continue to rejuvenate. Well, what she said was to be believed. Tsugumi's body would never die on its own. As long as her body had the energy to continue, it would not die. As long as she continued to have the will to live, her body would be sustained forever. Semi-eternal life. But was such a thing even conceivable? The concept of never growing old, never dying, was it possible? Why do living creatures age? Essentially, it is to protect against exhaustion and deterioration of function. The life cycle needs aging so it can have succession and renewal through subsequent generations. I couldn't help but laugh. That's a good story, but no way. But I guess it's a good joke, pretty solid. So she's a 23-year-old that looks 17. Tsugumi snickered at my words. I'd still kind of believe she's 23, I don't know. What else would you expect? Crazy talk like that. Tsugumi got up slowly. Her disheveled clothes showed just a peek of her legs, and a glimpse of her sleek thighs. Her clean shaven skin. And a scar. What the? Your right thigh at the scar. Well, yeah, no. No, really. It's okay. Sure enough, it was a scar. However, it looked like something that had healed years ago, just a scar where once several stitches were. Afterwards, I went straight back to the conference room. Whoa. This is nuts. She had confided her secrets to me on the jellyfish gondola. Fire's carrier. A body that never dies. A body that never grows old. Her healed scar. It was also hard to believe. Could such a mind-boggling story even be true? I was still unable to completely believe her. I had glanced up and noticed Coco and the others had stopped playing. Okay. Large head, it was only half finished. Wait, okay. Okay, that's good. She put Tsugumi there. Huh. Back sleeping. Okay. I didn't know where should I go. But I didn't know where should I go, so now, first time I picked control room for sure. So, infirmary, right? Turning down a corridor after climbing the emergency stairs, I came out in front of the infirmary. Huh? The door abruptly opened in my face and a person came flying out, and then dodged right past me. In a flash, the figure was gone without even seeming to notice me. Who was that? I whipped around quickly, trying to see who that person was. It was Tsugumi. Hey. I started to call out, but hesitated. The events from the night before popped into my mind. I could stop her, but then what? In the meantime, all I could see was Tsugumi's back fading farther away. Hey, wait up, where are you going? Barely getting the words out, I dashed after her. I ran up a corridor and hurriedly climbed the stairs. But the sound of her feet faded down the end of the emergency corridor. Her figure had already rounded the corner out of sight. Tsugumi! I was out of breath. I'd run about 30 yards, but... Darn, Tsugumi, you sure are fast! I grumbled after her, although she was now well out of earshot. It didn't feel like I could catch up with her at all. Her speed was unnatural. She was still supposed to be recuperating. But still... She's still a little slower than me when she pulled away from the flood of the aquarium. Her legs probably still hadn't fully recovered. At any rate, I didn't want her to be overdoing it. Ah, darn it. Annoyed that I was out of breath, I continued after Tsugumi. The sound of her feet was only barely perceptible in the distance. I strained my ears to hear. It sounded like she had headed downstairs. I descended the stairs. I was unable to hear any footsteps from below. It seemed that instead of going to the third floor, she had gone down to the corridor on the second floor. I came out near the entrance to the jellyfish gondola. I had thought she came this way, but Tsugumi was nowhere in sight. Darn, I guess I'll just have to give up. What's the point in playing chase with her anyway, I thought. But still, I was disappointed. Without further recourse, I gave up and walked to the nearby security office. Okay.
まあ、私は内緒事をベラベラ喋ったりはしないし、興味もないし、空の秘密を知ろうって気はさらさらないから安心しなさい。OK?
Okay.
OK?
I guess that was new. After that, I fell silent. I was searching for something to say. Yu was looking down. So... if you discover something about your father, then what? When I asked you further her brow slightly.
私もね、それを考えてるところ。どうするべきかなんてもう分かってる。分かりきってる。プロテクトを解けば全部分かる。とにかく今、私はここのコンソールからレミシステムの中枢にあるはずのデータにアクセスしてる。うまくいくかどうかは全然わからないけど、データがそこにあるらしいってことは分かってるの。どこにデータがあるかまではもう分かったのよ。まあ、分かったのはいいんだけど。
You suddenly became more upbeat.
このプロテクトがまた。
Okay. I wondered how long I could watch the little peaceful world she had created. How long would I keep looking at her? Could I keep looking at her smiling face? Thinking about it made me feel lonely. There. She just surprised me when she started talking to me all of a sudden. Tsugumi right then seemed like she would never talk to me about anything. I wonder if she... oh, she would never talk about dying, even by accident. I wonder if she had resolved her feelings. If that was the case, then it seemed like talking with her had been the right thing to do. I chased after her constantly. Been hit by her. been put down by her. But the Tsugumi before me was unmistakably one of us.
ほんでね、ほいでね、ここ夢を見たんだ。
Tsugumi was listening to Coco intently.
どんな夢？
クジラに乗ったの。
Man. I kind of still don't want to hit him, but... Aw, man. I don't blame him. I'm just gonna see it right here. Okay, let's see what happens. You better brace yourself. I struck the kid hard on his cheek. It hurt. It had to have hurt him. My hand even hurt. But more than the pain in my hand, my heart hurt. I let go of the kid's collar and he backed away slowly. Everyone watched us silently. Tears welled up in his eyes. Kid, look over at Tsugumi. She injured her leg terribly and almost drowned. She had surgery. If it were me, I'd have probably died, but she pulled through it. I pointed at Tsugumi. Tsugumi stood silently. The kid timidly raised his eyes to look at her, but soon started back at the floor again.
でも、Takeshiがそんなこと言ったってさ、僕はつぐみじゃないんだ。みんな同じじゃないんだから。無理だよ。僕には無理だ。
I do not like doing that.
そんなに強くないんだよ。そんなに強くなれないよ。生きてなんかいられない。生きていられないんだよ。だったらいっそのこと。
I didn't want to make him say the rest, but I couldn't stop him. I knew how hard it would be for him to say. Even I wasn't that strong. Everyone waited for the kid's next words in silence. They were probably unthinkable.
で、どうしたいの？どうしたいの？あなたは。
Tsugumi took a step forward and stared at the kid. Those eyes were unfeeling and quiet.
ねえ、教えてよ。少年がどうしたいのか知りたいわ。
Softly she approached the kid one step at a time. Everyone was so caught off guard that they couldn't move, couldn't say a word.
どうしたの？言えないよ。
He tried to say something, but no words would come out of his mouth. He'd also forgotten how to back away. Tsugumi went up to the kid and touched him.
生きていたくないの？
The kid tried to nod, but his head wouldn't budge.
じゃあ、死んじゃいたいの？
The kid couldn't respond either.
何か言ってよ。お願いだから。私にはよくわかんないよ。
Tsugumi asked the kid, her tone neutral.
ねえ、どっち？あなたは死にたい？あなたは生きたい？そう。答えられないんだ。だったらもう二度とそんなこと言わないで。ね？
The kid broke down in tears and fell to the floor covered in water.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Yu suddenly spurred into action, ran over to the kid and wrapped her arms around his shoulders. Sora looked down and covered her face with her hands. She was trembling. Coco and Piku were staring at everyone, speechless. Tsugumi! Not knowing what else to say, I just stood there. I looked at her face. But I couldn't read what she was thinking from her expression.
Takeshi, ちょっとこっちに来て。
Seeing that I was confused, Tsugumi ran over to me. Eyebrows raised, she glared at me strongly. What was she thinking? Ouch! What are you doing? That hurts.
いいから来なさい。さあ、早く。
Totally clueless, I followed along behind her. She had grabbed my ear and mercilessly tugged. Oh, let me go, Tsugumi! Why are you doing this? Ouch! Wordlessly, she doggedly moved forward. She kept a firm grip on me and kept pulling so that I couldn't get away. You'll rip my ear off. It's seriously going to come off. Sheriff. This is killing me. Let go of me, please. I kept climbing the stairs. So she wouldn't let go no matter how much I pleaded, so I shut up. She wouldn't let me go. Let go no matter how I pleaded, so I finally shut up. And when we finally made it to second floor, she let go of my ear. Thank heavens. I mean, what are you doing? Are you crazy?
うるさいわね。やっと黙ったと思ってる。
Tsugumi let out a big sigh. What's that face supposed to mean?
見ての通り、がっかりしてるのよ。あなたに。
She furrowed her brow and looked at me. She pinched the bridge of her nose and shook her head. She was completely fed up. Tsugumi turned and she started walking away from me. Hey, wait a second. Why? What's with you? Did I do something to you? I hurried over to her and insisted that she answer me.
違う。違う。違う。あなたはまるで分かってない。
And throwing back her shoulders, she picked up her pace. What don't I understand? I mean, things were getting out of hand back there. If you hadn't said something, I don't know how it would have turned out. I'm glad you did. I'm really sorry. Thanks. Hey, wait, Tsugumi. I kept yelling as I chased after her. You of all people know how serious the situation is, right? So how come you are? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. You're angry at me, right? Why are you so mad? Please tell me. Tsugumi stopped at the entrance to Qual.
ええ。分かったわ。くだらない質問だけど、答えてあげる。
Okay. All of a sudden, Tsugumi smiled at me. I flinched.
あなた、さっき自分で何て言ったか覚えてる？
Me, let's see. I was fairly angry, so I really don't remember that well. It might not have been all there at the time. But, you know, I really don't think I said anything wrong to the kid. And I'm sure about that.
そう。間違ってはなかったみたいね。だからよ。だから怒ってる。
Scooby jumped onto the jellyfish gondola. I got on soon after her and closed the door. The gondola zipped into the tube and out into the ocean.
冗談じゃない。
Scooby pounded the shell of the jellyfish with her fist. Her expression was one of annoyance again. The gondola swayed slightly as it moved forward slowly.
生きてさえいればいい。仲間なんだから協力しろですって。そうやって押し付けて、強要して詭弁を並べ立てて、無責任に程がある。あなたは一体何者なのよ。よくもまあそんなことが言えたものね。
So, what else could I do? It's better than just standing by and watching him sink in despair. It's better to have a little hope than nothing at all, right? Well, you know what? You're selfish and self-righteous, and you're always faking like you don't care about anyone. You go around hurting people on purpose and making them feel like crap, and now you're trying to make me look bad.
違う。わざわざしてるわけじゃない。いろんなことが気に入らないだけよ。
Liar. That's not the way you want things to happen in your heart, and you know that. Why do you have to lash out at everything? Why can't you just be yourself for once?
違う。素直じゃないのはあなた。
I'm always myself.
ひねくれ者。
That's funny coming from you. This isn't what we were talking about anyway. Why are you so angry? If I did something wrong, then I guess I deserve it. If there really is a good reason, then hey, I won't complain. So come on, tell me. I won't argue with you. Just tell me what it is.
知りたい？そんなに。
Tsugumi sat back down on the gondola. Her tone had almost returned to normal. Yeah, of course. She hesitated a bit, but soon came to sit next to me. Tsugumi looked straight ahead. She didn't try to look at me.
どうして？
Because I want to know. Because I want to know what my friends are thinking. I put my hands lightly on her shoulder. I was becoming more and more worried. Maybe she was still trying to be stubborn. Tsugumi didn't try to shake off my hand, but just sat there.
そうね。私も仲間とやらになってみる。聞きたければ聞けばいい。答えてあげるわよ。私は所詮あなたの仲間なの。
Why do you have to say it like that? You're not still. Tsugumi thrust her hand into her pocket and took something out.
たけしはこれなんだか知ってるわよね。
Chami. The Jingarian hamster. Jingarian. Who cares? Where the heck did you pull that from? I know that. That's not what I'm asking. Don't just shove him out and talk about him as this. Hamsters are delicate living creatures, and you should be careful with them.
でもしょうがないじゃない。この子の居場所は他にないもの。
Chami stood in Tsugumi's hand. He twitched his nose and looked up at both of us. Yeah, both of our faces inquisitively. Tsugumi stroked Chami softly with the tip of her finger.
ねえ、たけし。
Chami.
こうするとどうなるか知ってる？
Tsugumi grasped both of her hands tightly together. In between the cracks of her fingers, I could see Chami's soft, warm-looking gray fur. Soon his body disappeared entirely on her hands. Idiot, cut it out!
ねえ、答えてよ。
Tsugumi started to squeeze harder. Chami, only the tip of his nose was visible, turned his beady eyes towards Tsugumi. What are you talking about? It's totally obvious. What a stupid question. You want to talk about stupid questions? There's one for you. She started squeezing more. The space between her fingers got smaller and smaller. Chami twisted his body and started to struggle. Cut it out, Tsugumi. If you go on like this, Chami's going to... the hamster looked at Tsugumi and me. Or Chami, whatever. At the end, I thought he even let out a small breath. Tsugumi crushed her hands together with all of her might. They pressed together. Huh? Her hands were shaking with the effort. From the cracks of her fingers, red droplets started to fall.
ねえ、たけし、チャミはどうなったと思う？
You did not just do that. Tsugumi's voice was also shaking.
答えてよ。答えてよ。
No. You think I'm going to answer you that? Open your hands. Tsugumi, open up your hands. Please, just open them up. Now! Her hands were shaking heavily as they opened. Shammy. Tsugumi, what have you done? He was dead. His fur was slightly wet. Shammy looked like a dirty old dish rag. Probably all of the bones in his body were broken. All of the blood had probably been squeezed from his body. He probably hadn't had any time to wonder it had happened so fast. His life had been extinguished.
ねえ、たけし。知ってる？これからどうなるの？
Tsugumi! Cut it out! I shook Tsugumi's shoulders violently. I thought for sure that I would knock her down. I forced her to look at me. But Tsugumi was crying and her lips trembled as she bit down on them.
たけし、どうして答えてくれないのよ。
Chami is dead. He won't ever move again. In her hand, Chami seemed to move faintly, as if he had woken up suddenly. His movements were stiff and barely visible and extremely slow, but he was actually moving. His heart had started beating again. He had started thinking again, breathing again. He shook himself off slightly, fluttered his ears, and twitched his nose. He got up on shaking legs and even tried to stand. However, there was still blood on her hands.
ねえ、たけし、チャミ、どうなった？
Our gondola, well, it's already passed the entrance to the ride twice, and was just starting to make its third pass. One pass really wasn't that long. Altogether, we'd only been on it in between just over 10 minutes. In that brief time, he had returned to normal and was sitting up on her palm, staring at the two of us inquisitively.
この子はね、
Tsugumi was petting Chami softly again with the tip of her
少年
finger.
とは違うの。あなたとも違うの。見たでしょ。これが現実。チャミはウイルスに侵されている。
Oh.
最初に触ろうとした時、チャミが爪を立てた。私の手に噛みついて、チャミは血を浴びた。だからチャミは私と同じになった。
So they don't just grow old and die, but they actually can't be killed too. No way. Oh, no way, I don't believe you. I still couldn't believe her. Or what she had told me about the virus earlier. Or what had happened and right in front of me then.
ほら、生きてるよ、この子。
Tsugumi murmured as she looked down.
生きてる。息してるし、心臓も動いてるよ。でも、痛かったよね。苦しかったよね。私、ひどいことしちゃったよね。ごめんね、チャミ。ごめんね。許して。私が悪かったの。でも、生きててよかったね。
I started shaking Tsugumi's shoulders again. What the heck are you talking about? How can you say something like that? You just put him through something unimaginable, and now you just say it's okay because you're alive.
違う。
Tsugumi brushed my hands off.
あなたが言ったのよ。あの時、たけしが言ったじゃないの。生きてさえいればって。それがどうなの？見たでしょ？チャミがどんな目にあったか、私がどんな目に遭わせたのか。たけしだって今見たでしょ？生きてさえいればいいな。そんなことはない。絶対にない。 私はそんなの信じない。生きてるだけじゃ生きてるとは言えないのよ。どう？わかる？わからない？たけし、答えてよ。ねえ、チャミにはわかる？
Her face was pointing down. I couldn't see her expression, but I didn't have to. I knew what it was. Tsugumi was crying silently. Countless tears fell from her face, like raindrops falling one by one onto the red-stained floor of coal. I didn't know what to say. No words seemed adequate.
ねえ、私が何回死んだか知ってる？
She was trying to stay as calm as she could. I have no idea. I scarcely could move my lips as I replied.
私ももう覚えてない。
Hopefully just a
その
couple.
ウイルスのキャリアは当初世界でも十数人と言われた。その中でも私は少し特殊だった。2005年8月、12歳の私は父親の仕事の関係で家族と一緒に渡米していた。その頃の私の友達ジュリア、同い年の彼女はアメリカのとある病院に入院中だった。不治の病だと言われていたが、悪性の腫瘍であちこちに転移して手の施しようがなかったそうよ。でも私は何度もお見舞いに通った。友人ジュリアのために微笑んでいる彼女が余命いくばくもないなんて私は信じなかった。もしも奇跡というものがあったら、もしも私が祈ることで彼女が治るのなら、せめて痛みや苦しみを和らげることができたなら、そう考えた。そんなある日、私は事故に遭った。
An accident? Is that how you got the virus?
いいえ、病院を出た途端に18輪トレーラーにはねられた。全身を骨折、筋断裂多数、意識不明、呼吸停止、絶望的な状態だけど、なぜか私は死ななかった。そして数ヶ月後、見知らぬ場所で私は目覚めた。
Oh, where am I? It's a hospital. Which one? Well, I don't really know either. You don't know? I don't know why, but I don't know. My name's Tsugumi Komachi. You? Huh? What is your name? Well, I don't know that either. Sucks, huh?
記憶喪失の少年の隣で私は目覚めた。窓の外は知らない風景。おそらくはアメリカのどこかの空の下だけど、それが地図のどこであるか知るには、それから実に8年もの年月を要した。
8 years?
ずっとそこにいたの。私はその病院に。
Who are you? I'm the physician who will be attending to you. Physician? Oh, you mean you're a doctor? Yes, I'm going to find a cure for your sickness and make you all better. Cure me? I got in an accident and got hurt. No, it's a little different than that. Different? You have a new disease, one that we've never seen before. A new kind of disease? So that was...
そうよ。いつ何がきっかけでそうなったのかはわからない。だけど目覚めた時にはもう、いいえ、きっと事故に遭う以前から私はすでに死なない体になりつつあった。
Alright, I'd like to take a little of your blood. Why? Well, it's for research, to find a way to cure you, of course. Research? Your illness is very rare. Rare? There are very few people in the world who have it, and all those people are special. Special? And of all those people, you are special. Your genetic code is being rewritten. It is truly fascinating. You are the talk of our whole medical center. I don't understand what you're talking about. Hey, don't worry about it. We're going to find a way to make you better, I promise. How are you going to get some blood? Well, Princess, hey, don't you worry yourself about that. Just give me your arm and we'll be done before you know it. It won't hurt.
たびたび採血をされたわ。その時は深く考えなかった。なぜそんなことをするのかって。病気の治療のためだから。君や君の仲間のためなんだと、その医師たちに言われ続けてきた。
Hey, you there next to me. What? You're sick too, are you? Me? The same sickness as me? I mean, probably not anyway. You mean you aren't sure? Yeah, I'm fine. I know. I can see the future.
彼は言った。これから何度も悲劇を見ることになる。だけどどうかその度に落ち込まないでほしい。まず5年、それから3年、また3年。でも君はそれでも生きていけるはず。だいたいそういう意味合いのことを私に告げた。やがて彼の言った意味が幼い私にも分かり始める。
Tsugumi, take a look. There's a cat and mouse over there. Oh yeah, they're so cute. I wonder why they're in a place like this. Yeah, those cages are so small, it looks painful. You want to let them out? Oh, I wonder if it'd be alright. It should be. Come on, let's do it. Hey, wait. Okay, everyone out. Run while you can. Hey, what do you think you two are doing? Oh no, the experiment! Everyone be careful. Whatever you do, don't let them bite you. Watch out, they're contagious. They were really mad at us. You opened up those cages so fast, you surprised me. They caught all of the animals again. Yeah, they're right back to where they were before. And those cramped small cages, they're trapped again. Why do they have to be locked up that way? Why? I wonder. Why?
それがなぜかは少しずつわかる。ここがただの病院でなく研究施設だということもうすうす感じ始めていた。誰もお見舞いに来ないし、誰も退院する様子がない。入院する人だってめったにいない。相変わらずここがどこなのかはわからない。
Huh? They're all gone. You didn't let them out again, did you? No. Oh, well, I wonder where they went then. I don't know. But they shouldn't have been kept in such a cramped space anyway. Yeah. Maybe the researchers thought the same thing and let them go then? No idea. It's no good. We still haven't been able to discover the reason or mechanism behind it. It happened right in front of me, but I still can't believe it. The only explanation I can come up with is genetic transfer. It goes against everything we know of it, of science. They would set up to 4 splicings. I think maybe they could take 8. Let's keep testing. No, if we continue. There's no mistaking it. They're still alive. They might still even react at 16. But they're not. These aren't living creatures anymore. Is that what you meant to say? Perhaps that way of thinking might have been correct according to our old way of thinking, but we have no idea of the possibilities this entails. That's not right. It's crazy. Ah, the mice are still there. They're so cute. Wait, something strange. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Are there more of them or less? Did they put the cats back in their cages? The cover is locked. Oh, I can't get it off. Huh? What? Hey kid, where did the kid go? Ooh. Answer me. Get out of here. It's time for you to leave.
私がそこを出るまで8年間ずっとそんな日々が繰り返されたの。来る日も来る日も。私も何度か研究所の人間に呼び出された。彼らは私の仲間だと自ら言った。けれど実際は違った。わけのわからない検査や試験が幾日も続いた。ただの道具のように扱われ、もはや痛みも苦しみも感じられず、元のベッドに帰るたびに私はただ泣いた。隣の少年はついに帰ってこなかった。たけし、どういうことだかわかる？
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't know, but...
説明しなくてもいい？
Yeah. If it's too painful for you, you don't have to say anything more. Tsugumi was stroking Chami with a trembling finger. I put my hand lightly on Tsugumi's shoulder. To suddenly get hit by a virulent disease and become someone who would never age. Spent 8 years trapped in a research facility. I couldn't imagine how it must have been to go through that.
嫌い。おしゃべりな自分が大嫌い。おかしいね。たけしといるといらないことをどんどん話してしまうから。
It's okay, you don't have to talk. I'm so sorry. It was totally irresponsible what I said back there. It was careless of me to talk about being alive like it's just a given. It isn't like that. It's not like that. Tsugumi. I was wrong, okay? She screamed suddenly.
そんなこと言わないで。簡単に自分の言ったことを撤回なんかしないでよ。それこそ無責任よ。
I didn't know what to tell her.
今のあなたは奴らと同じ。分かってないの。何も。仲間って言葉を振りかざしてるだけ。彼女の気持ちはあなたに分かってない。彼の気持ちだって分かっていない。
She was making me feel it had been a mistake to say I'd been wrong. No, that wasn't it either. The truth was, there was no such thing as right and wrong.
生きている者はずっと生きるべきなんだと言ったわよね。あなた、私は生きながらえている。おそらく何度も死んで、まだ生きている。チャミも生きてる。でもたけし、あなたは今本当に生きてるの？本当にそこにいるの？どうしたの？私の言うことありのまま受け入れるって言ったわよね。たけしはそう言ってくれたよね。
She bit her lip. Her shoulders were shaking. She looked bitterly disappointed. That when she tried to live, she ended up dying. And when she tried to die, she ended up living. It was a process that repeated itself over and over without end. It wasn't right or wrong, it was her reality. And it was something that she had no choice but to accept. But I still wasn't able to accept it.
バカみたい。バカみたい。私。きっとあなたなんかよりずっとバカなのよ。
The gondola swayed. We had arrived at the end of the ride. I had no idea how many times we passed by Qual. The door opened suddenly. She got up quickly and opened the door. Tsugumi! I stuck out my hand to grab her, but she swatted it away
触ら
immediately.
ないで。私に触らないで。
She closed the door from outside. The jellyfish I was riding on started moving again. Stupid. I muttered to myself. Stupid idiot. I said it myself. I said it to her. I said it to no one and nothing in particular. To everything. Outside the window was the ocean. An ocean closed off from the light. When I passed under the shadow of the installation, the gondola became dark, and inside of the darkness, all alone in the darkness, I bit hard down on my lip as I cried. Soon it was night. In the conference room, you, Coco, and PP were waiting, even the kid. It looked like the kid had calmed down some. While I had been gone, it seemed that you and Coco had been able to talk some sense into him. You told me that he'd probably been upset by a recurring memory and had gotten worked up in spite of himself. I felt that I'd gotten out of hand and had said some terrible things myself. I went around to everyone there and apologized. Soon afterward, a report came to us in the conference room directly from Lemmy's terminal. He read out the contents to all of us. Third floor, Dritstock partition schematic. The cosmic whale room had flooded completely. Casualties, none. Flooding to other rooms, none. Chance of damage spreading, none. Shivering slightly in the cold, I wrapped my arms around my knees and we all went to sleep. I did not expect her to be like that. That is a very weird thing to deal with. Bye.